Hey, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast, recorded live on July 24th, 2020. I am one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Zance. Go ahead and say hello.
Movable fingers!
Yes, indeed. Oh, we had quite the announcement yesterday, that's for certain.
And you get to say it this time.
I don't think I understand what you're saying there, but I guess what...
You get to say it this time. You called it.
Yep. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yes, I did call it. I called this thing. That there was going to be expansion coming. We don't know yet specifically what the planet is called, but yeah. It's... I just knew there was something coming. I just wasn't expecting all the detail that we were getting out of this whole
I
thing.
know. Like, this is a lot of detail already that we're getting, but obviously there is still some stuff that people want to know. So, we have a lot of detail and at the same time we don't, which is great.
Yep. It's enough detail that it at least tides me over, and it makes it so that I still want to keep playing the North American version of the game, as well as the Japanese version, because, well, what can I say? That's about to get into the end game for that story there.
Yep. And with how this is looking, like, this is coming out 2021, and it's worldwide release, which is amazing.
That's definitely what it seems like. I just wish that I just wish that they would have said something more than 2021. Can I get a season, please?
Yeah, I would like that as well, but they probably don't have it nailed down of what season they're going to be releasing it in. They just say 2021.
I would have been happy if they said holiday 2021, because then at least I would know, okay, I've got until like November, December of next year to do other things.
Well, they'll probably release more closely, like, what time it's going to be frame once it is at 2021.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably still working through some of the details at this point. That they were at least far enough along to be able to show us this new trailer.
Yep. Plus, we still need episode 4, 5, and 6 on NA. So.
Correct. And Rooks, yes, the Japanese trailer did have English text, at least when it came to the players talking. But the announcement headers were still in Japanese.
And I just want to point out, actually, I'll keep this to when we're talking about the trailer, or like pointing out all the stuff in the trailer, because there's a typo in the English text that I want to point out.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Let me actually get the trailer up again here, because I have it loaded elsewhere, but not in such a way that we can just pause it here. So let me get that up here real quick here.
Alrighty.
Let's see here.
Cause yeah, we definitely want to go do a breakdown of this, and I know you already did that on your YouTube page, but we're going to be doing a breakdown on the podcast, because why not? That's part of PSO2 stuff.
I completely agree. All right, let me pull that up here then. And that is off-center. Why is that off-center?
Yep. I don't know. It's your overlay.
You know what? This is usually set up for being half-width, so...
Okay.
I hope this isn't going to break things later, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Alright, so, 20th anniversary for Phantasy Star Online. Of course, the original Phantasy... Oh, actually, no. I think that's the other trailer. We're not ready for that one.
Yeah, this is the Japanese one.
Right. Let's see here. Bear with me here, everyone. Let's see. We'll do it through
there's
here.
Maximilian Dude reacting to that. Oh yeah, so this is from Xbox. Phantasy Star's North American channel also uploaded this.
Yep.
So yeah, this was revealed in the... hold on, pause this real quick. Yep. This was revealed in the Xbox thing that happened. I didn't expect it from the Xbox thing, but then again, I didn't expect PSO2 from Xbox's E3 last year, so yeah.
Did this thing like
still
steal the
surprises
show?
me through Xbox? Yeah, the show, yeah.
This was a complete surprise, and if anything, I never expected it to show up in the Xbox show as the first place they announced it.
Yeah, especially since it is the first place it announced.
Yep. I mean, of course, they put up the videos later on in the day, including for the Japanese version, but just... why?
I don't know.
The only thing that I could think of is maybe because it's powered by the Azure servers?
Yeah, there was a show. It was the Xbox thing. They revealed the gameplay from Halo Infinity. Or
Yep.
Halo Infinite. Yeah, that. And yeah, that is true. Microsoft does have ties with Sega since the Dreamcast, especially when it came to the Xbox, of bringing a bunch of the Dreamcast titles to the Xbox. If you remember about the history with that.
That is true. Yep. And Doom Dragon, yeah, it was yesterday that the show happened in the afternoon.
And that's when all this stuff started coming out. And then this morning we got even more stuff. So yeah, It's been a lot of hype going on right now with this.
Yep. So some of the stuff I said yesterday on my when I joined Brian on the Work to Game stream, I was correct there for some of that. When I did my own stream later the day, I got some of that correct, some of that wasn't correct, but we're gonna go into that as we continue here. So let's continue this here. So again, 20th anniversary here. We got all these landscapes around here. I made a joke about the moose enemies there. Brand new expansive world here. Rappy singing, and here is our new Ash stand-in.
Oh.
And I'm gonna pause this right here because we got some stuff already that kind of needs to be pointed out again here.
Those trails, like look at the light trails whenever he's running.
Yep, I think that's called the Photon Dash.
Mm-hmm.
And then
in the follow-up video, I believe they called it the Photon Dash.
Yep, and then just looking here, you get so much information here. If you look here, you can see the signpost. It seems to be pointing in different directions for where different destinations would be, and it was this that first gave me the inkling that this was an open world game or an open world expansion.
Yeah, and the further you get into it, you then see, yeah, this is totally an open world expansion thing.
Yep. Continuing on, there's also the Photon Glide. Also, you're going to find that a lot of the trees and rocks around here have these blue, assumingly photon lines in them, and sometimes they can apparently convey text as well to the player. I made the joke that it was almost like what was going on in the Avatar movie, if you happen to remember that. With the Na'vi.
I don't remember that movie. I saw it back when it came out, and I don't remember anything about it.
Gotcha.
I'm not alone in that. Like, I know several people who've seen Avatar and just don't remember it. Okay, pause on his face. Pause on his face. No, keep going and pause on his face.
Well, I wanted to point out that there also seem to be multiple towns set up here. Plus, you've also...
that's going to be the new hub area, maybe?
I don't think it's a hub. I think it's an actual town. So, I mean, we still don't know all the details about how open the world is actually going to be. If it's still going to be instanced, like you explore around, but it's going to be instanced like it was back in Phantasy Star Universe, where you have multiple hub bases, or if you just walk into town and you enter kind of like another instance, but where there's like hundreds of players, and then when you walk back out into the field, then you're kind of open world again there.
Yeah, kind of like Guild Wars 1. Yeah, I have played Guild Wars 1 with their explorable zones. All their explorable zones are instance, but then whenever you go into town, then those are just singular servers. It's just all the explorable zones are instance for just you and your party.
Yep, and I'm going to put the chat back on top of the window here. There we go, that should be better now.
Or like Destiny 2, yeah. it could be like that. And then you see
got-
these like beams coming down. So these are apparently the new enemies, which are called the Dulls.
Yep.
Or
So,
something.
and there's the face.
Oh, the glorious face!
Yep. And let me see if I can find this again, because one of the members of my Discord yesterday put together an interesting face here. Or interesting
boy.
meme. Give me a moment, let me find that again. I wish I had prepared this. We were kind of...
It's gorgeous. It absolutely is.
Yep. Oh, where did that go?
And the memes that have come out of this are just glorious. Photons, not even once.
Yep.
What else? Oh yeah, it's
Here it
Ash
is.
upgrading to this new Ash.
Yep, here we go. Cursed!
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my.
so yeah. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I showed that off here today, because that was just a brilliant one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very anime-esque, obviously.
Yep.
So you put anime faces and then you put it on a 3D model. It just does not look that right. I guess it's uncanny.
Right. Yep. We are definitely getting into the uncanny valley at this point.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh yeah, I love the internet as well. Why do you think I'm in my room almost all the time, just on the internet?
Yep. Now, the way that he was gliding in there, I'm almost wondering if it's not just only a glide, but potentially a fly feature as well. Because he was able to kind of like use his glide in sort of like a jet propulsion.
Yeah, especially with how he's gliding here whenever he goes in for the attack.
Yep.
And slashes down. Oh my. So
Yep.
yeah, some of these attacks are obviously like that spinning one. I do not recognize that photon art.
It looks like a combination of Nova Strike and Imperial Cleave.
Yeah. Also, we get our first look at the UI here. I love it. It is a simplistic UI, very little on the screen, so you see more of the actual game. Minimap at the top left, I actually prefer having minimaps on the left. Like, all the important information I like having on the left side of things.
Yep. And it seems like it's also outlining where the road is as well here.
So it's showing where the road is, showing where enemies and party members are, and then the time of day as well.
Correct.
Maybe new class PA? I don't know, because there haven't been shown any, like, quote-unquote classes in this. They've shown just the basic. You use a sword and a rifle and wand. That's all they've shown so far in this.
Yep. And the enemy name is shown right on the enemy itself. Here it says it's a level 15 Peta sword, and it is weak to ice.
Yeah, it's showing on the enemy instead of at the top left of the screen. That's interesting. I like that.
Yep.
Gotta
I
squint
completely
above
agree.
their head. Yeah, a bit.
Yep. And then you've
Yeah,
got...
they released that video, like the follow-up video at 2 a.m.
Yeah. So
there, okay.
there went some of my guesses about this trailer, but
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, we can see Ash, Sue, Gilliam, Rupika is changed to a C instead of a K for some reason, compared
Yeah.
to the original Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, they always use the same base names when it comes to showing off new stuff.
Yep. And then looks like the colors are red, green, yellow, and blue, which is standard for the series.
Yep.
Now we can kind of see it behind the title, and I wish YouTube didn't do this where it put the title of the video behind. But you can see it says 4 out of 4 here. But in a moment, that's going to change here. Here we go. So right here, that looks like 8 out of 4 to me.
Yeah, it is 8 out of 4. What?
So I think it's like it's showing how many players are actually in the area, or it's showing how many NPCs have joined your party, including your other players.
Maybe. And also, Rubber, don't worry, we are going to be talking about the announcement that they followed up stuff with.
Yep. Yep, we'll be coming to that very soon here. We're just going through the initial trailer right now here.
Yep. Yeah, and
this enemy
eventually on, right there, it shows 6-4.
Yep. And now this is key here. He puts away his sword, and it switches to a ranger weapon, a rifle.
Yeah. So, are you able to just switch to any weapon on the fly, or switch to any class on the fly? Because it shows the same person using all these different weapons.
Yep, and if we back up a bit in the video here, oh come on YouTube, if you look on his arm right here, it says 04 here, and that would actually go in a series with what we know about Phantasy Star Online 2's ARKS as well, because the way ARKS worked is second generation ARKS were not able to change their class. They could try, but it never really worked out. And it's, for example, Echo, who is a force, just couldn't get used to being a hunter that well. Zeno couldn't get used to being a hunter, but was good as a ranger. So, and then your third generation ARKS is basically what our characters are, and we have the ability to change classes by visiting a class counter. And now this guy here seems to have the ability to just switch classes on the fly. Which would be a natural evolution of the ARKS at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then once again, these enemies are called the Dolls. Some of them, this one in particular, reminds me of the Savaltis from back on Ragol in Phantasy Star Universe.
Oh. Right there. Wait, right there. We passed it. So go back and show the text that the person saying. Don't just watch out for its sword, but for the attack from the chest. What?
Ah, I see what you're saying there. Yep. Yeah, that should not be there. I didn't even pick up on that.
I saw that. I was like, initially when I saw that, I had to take a double take purely because, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Let the memes flow. Let the memes about this flow into the Reddit and everywhere.
Yeah, for its sword.
Actually, wait a minute. I just remembered there's this character from back in World of Final Fantasy that adds like a bunch of something.
Tana. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. He adds into every sentence.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, it seems like all the enemies are currently weak to ice here, and I know there was some concern about the fact that we're only seeing a forest area here, and that right there tells me that there's probably going to be different biomes on whatever the planet this is. Yep. Where we're going to be facing off against different types of enemies here.
It's Ragol?
I don't think so. In fact, I've had my theory for some time that we were headed to Palma, or rather to Algol, and this would seem like Palma. Except that there are other elements in play here that seem to be pointing it more towards it being Vandul from Idola Phantasy Star Saga. Oh. And then there was another screen somewhere in here. Let me find that again. Which was really interesting when this got pointed out in another Discord channel that I frequent. Where is that thing? I need to find the moon.
The moon?
Yeah.
Maybe it's where they were showing all the enemies or something.
Let's see. Is it here? No, that's the sun.
Yep.
There it is. So this moon.
Oh, that moon right there. Yeah.
Yep. This moon corresponds to one of the planets actually that we saw during the ship battles in episode 6 against Shiva.
Oh.
Yep. So that's even more interesting that
Was this
Effectively,
new world that's created after Shiva's defeated?
either that or the battle is going to take such a toll on the Arks that their fleet gets wiped out, even though they end up victorious. That seems to be one of the running ideas here, that basically the Arks are going to suffer essentially a complete loss, but still end up victorious in the battle against the primordial darkness, and that then basically forces whatever forces are remaining to essentially crash on whatever planets are nearby, and that then kind of sets up this here. So effectively, the Arks don't have many, if any, ships left. I think the only one that might still be out there at this point would be the Delta Valiant, if it hasn't come back to the fleet yet. That being from Phantasy Star Nova, if anybody's aware of that game.
Which I'm not surprised if you're not aware of that, because it's a game that never left Japan, and it's also really not that great. And the English translation's not finished. They're still looking for people to help with it because they've hit a metaphorical wall.
Yep, I'm pleading once again to the community that is watching this show. Please, if you have any familiarity with hacking Tri-Ace games, please reach out to the team on the fleet and let them know that you can help out, because they're basically, without any help, there's not going to be a translation patch. There's an issue with the maximum number of characters that can show at one time, and they need to break through that.
They have partial translation, so all of the system stuff, that's all translated, but they can't finish it.
Yep, it's the story that they can't finish.
Yep.
Okay, continuing on here finally. True Adventure starts now.
Well, it starts in 2021.
Yeah. And New Genesis Phantasy Star Online 2 coming in 2021. And I want to back up real quick because I just noticed, yeah, you've got a character in the back there. So you got sword, rifle, and rod represented, and you've also got daggers represented there as well.
Yeah, we didn't see the gameplay of it, but yeah, it's shown there.
Yep. Yeah, so potentially 4 classes at the start. We will see.
Yeah, Microsoft Azure. So, Xbox Series X. So they are confirming it will be on Series X, and then Windows 10, obviously.
Yep.
So, and on the JP trailer, they showed PS4, Windows, and then Cloud Switch PC. That's the very specific thing I need to talk about, because there have been some people who are saying, oh, JP is getting this game on Switch. Yes and no, because it's the cloud version, which is streamed to the console. It's not played natively.
Yep.
So it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, aside from getting a Link outfit, there's no reason for you to play that version.
Nope. Especially if you live in the US, where the connection is god-awful.
Yep. Plus, you're having to traverse out across the ocean there anyway to even get to the servers in the first point, let alone there being any kind of local version, which doesn't exist. But
yeah, because there are some who play on those, but it's not the ideal way to play this game.
Agreed. And one thing I did want to note about that... Go ahead.
It's like the Google Stadia. It works, but it's not the ideal way to play them. Play any of those games.
Yep, and something else I wanted to point out here. I'm actually concerned that they're supporting the Xbox One version for all this, because based on what we saw back during the launch of PSO2 here in the West, the Xbox had a lot of trouble keeping up with the game. It was like it couldn't even run it properly, and now they're basically, this game is going to have even further system requirements, and I'm like, is that game just not going to do well on that console? I'm actually really worried here.
I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna run at 30 FPS.
Possibly, but I'm also hopeful that it's not going to hold back the rest of the game, because we just got done with that crap with the Vita version.
God, I hope not. I hope eventually, like after a while, they'll drop the Xbox and then PS4, and then instead you can get it on PS5 and Series X then.
Yep.
Because when it comes to the cloud version, what system requirements? And then when it comes to PC, you can constantly upgrade it.
Rubber, to clarify, it's the Microsoft Store that's holding back PSO2 currently.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that it's going to be going on to other platforms, i.e. Steam. Because, yeah, Microsoft Store is god-awful.
And yeah, I see what you're saying about loading from a hard disk as well.
Mhm.
That, yeah, at this point, if you're a gamer, why don't you have an SSD yet?
Money.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
That's one big thing. Money, and also when it comes to getting larger SSDs, they're more expensive than getting, say, a 2 terabyte hybrid drive. That's actually something that I have. I have a SSHD. Now, my main hard drive is a solid state, and that's what I have the North American server on. So everything loads up near instant for me. And when I was playing on Xbox, oh boy, I did not like it. But I will say that they have improved the Xbox version compared to when it was during the closed beta. You remember all the problems with the Xbox during the closed beta, right?
Oh yeah, I remember when it froze up on me several times.
Oh yeah, and not only that, there was a lot of sound issues as well. And yeah, that is true, SSDs are going down in price, so it is easier to get solid states nowadays compared to like a year ago.
Did they ever fix the controller issue, whereby if you don't have it plugged in, it turns off after 15 minutes and you get that message
Nope.
that just won't go away?
Nope.
Yeah, I figured that's a Microsoft message, not a Sega message, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right,
And
so
yeah,
let's
that
start.
is true. Most JP devs don't have any experience on Xbox because Xbox does not sell in Japan at all.
Yep. All right, let's jump into the actual update news here from the PSO2 website, and I am hoping that this is going to show up correctly, and it did. Great.
Hey,
Okay.
awesome. And we also
All
got
right.
the follow-up video to talk about after we get into some of this content thing. So, I'll talk about it here. We want to express our heartfelt appreciation for every single player who has taken up arms with ARKS in Phantasy Star Online 2. We have an exciting announcement concerning the future of PSO2 for all players, including active ARKS operatives and those who are currently on hiatus. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, PSO2 NGS for short, was announced during the broadcast of Microsoft's online conference, the Xbox Games Showcase, on Thursday, July 23rd, 2020. This massive update will be released instead of a new episode and is planned to launch after episode 6. What's the S for? Like New Genesis. So NGS is just like GS is just Genesis.
Yeah, I made a joke earlier today that I wasn't sure about the S was about either. I was like, okay, are you saying New Genesis? As in, we're gonna meet Jenna's sister? Jenna being the character from PSO2S. It was the best I could come up with for that.
I guess. This update may come as a surprise to those who are still playing Episode 3. In Japan, PSO2 recently celebrated its 8th anniversary. Yeah, this game came out in 2012. And yeah, it really needed this graphical overhaul. PSO... Yes, we're getting a new version of PSO2S, everyone. And is gearing up for the end of episode 6. Because the game system and graphics engine were created 8 years ago, they may seem unrefined to modern players, especially to those of you whose adventures just began with the North American version. This is why the development team is preparing a massive update instead of a new episode, to give PSO2 the renewal it deserves. We are proud to present this dramatic evolution to you as PSO2 New Genesis. This massive overhaul will be released in 2021, the year of Phantasy Star Online's 20th anniversary. Wow, 20th anniversary. So the PSO came out in 2001.
Let's be honest here. They have so many sub-series between Algo, Phantasy Star Online, and Phantasy Star Universe that they're pretty much celebrating one of these anniversaries every 2 years or so.
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, NGS it kind of does sound closer to MGS, so it's New Gear Solid. Perfect. The PSO2 NGS already has a teaser site, and you can find a promotional video for it there. So yeah, it has a teaser site now, which is neat.
Yep. If we go there real quick here.
Yep. It is new-gen.pso2.com. It plays the trailer. You can skip it if you want.
Yep. And then True
it
Adventure
also-
starts now.
Yep. And then it has a link to the current article that we're reading.
Yep.
Alright. Because the promotional video on the teaser website may not make it entirely clear how PSO2 NGS is related to PSO2 and how it differs, we have created a follow-up video and an announcement compiling what we can reveal at this point in time. For starters, please watch the follow-up video.
Yep, so let's go ahead and pop that here now.
Yeah, now, 2021. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Alright, so let's talk about this follow-up video here.
In 2021, PSO2 will soar to new heights and be reborn.
Footage
Of course, footage is
game-
from the game under development.
So we're seeing more of what we see. Okay, pause it. 1,000 years after Oracle's battle. That is interesting.
It's another... Go ahead.
Wait, no, you go ahead there.
It's another one of those little details that's kind of leaning it towards Algol, because over there, and it technically wasn't always 1,000 years. Sometimes it was like 900 something years, but generally every 1,000 years, the forces of the Profound Darkness would break through the seal that was put in place that held the Profound Darkness in where they are in the Edge, and we don't know all the details of that, but it was this constant recurring theme of every 1,000 years that kind of brought each generation into focus. And that basically the story goes that the reason the planet Rycross exists is so that it can act as an early warning system to the inhabitants of Algol, so they can prepare for this oncoming evil.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is very clearly trying to tie stuff into it. And yeah, wide open playing field.
Yep, this
So
is
this
an
is-
open.
Yeah, it's an open world like expansion kind of thing. Which
Yep.
I still have questions about. Okay, what's the social hub going to be like? How are these like completely open, or are they instanced or something? I don't know. We'll
And
see here.
And the question I've got is how much of this game is going to be skill-based? Because if it's heavily skill-based compared to gaining levels, one of the first things I'm going to be trying to do is just go to endgame areas as a level 1 player.
And then get completely crushed by everything.
Agreed, but I'm picking up warp points along the way so I can just get to those towns easily. It's something I used to do way back in my WoW days.
That's actually pretty smart. That's actually something that I actually did in Final Fantasy 11, because there would be outposts that you can't get until like much later levels, but you can get them now and then warp to those whenever you're high enough level. So
Yep.
Upgraded graphics engine and game system, so they're completely rebalancing this, and
Yep.
obviously having new graphics, which this game needed.
Yep, completely agree. Also, something you're going to find on the fields, and we didn't address this yet, is there are all these waypoints that you're going to see around the map that I'm not sure what purpose they all serve at this point, but they just seem to be waypoints that that the player can be pointed towards at points.
Mm-hmm.
The next generation of PSO2 has arrived.
Then we see our derp-ass jump.
Yep. Eventually that
never-ending quests. And
Yep.
we see multiple enemies, like multiple versions of these dolls up here.
Yep, that is quite the mob there that we're seeing here. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me back that up, because we just had a great example here.
Okay.
So, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think, did I see a 5th one over here
There,
somewhere?
there are 5.
Yep.
I see 5 people here.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see 5 people right there.
Yep, and then...
And then if you look at the top left, it says 8 of 4.
8 of 4, okay.
Yep.
Alright, and so PSO2 New Genesis, PSO2 NGS is an open field online RPG. Explore a vast detailed field
rendered with the new graphics engine.
Yep.
A
It's
living
the new
world
living
in
world.
time and weather. Yeah, because I mentioned that whenever you saw the UI, you could see like a little dial thing right under the right in the bottom right of the mini map, so it shows when the time of day is going to change.
Yep.
So that, might influence like what kind of enemies will show up, what kind of like maybe materials that you can grab, or certain species will only come out during these times, so you can see these real-time events happen. That's my guess on what's going to happen with that kind of time thing.
I'll be curious to see if we're going to see any unusual events based on that clock, like if there are ever going to be like eclipses or things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it might be a multi-party thing. Maybe. I don't know.
So with this open field adventure comes new ways to travel. Once again, we got some sort of marker here. Kind of wondering what that's all about.
Maybe like a material spot or something?
Maybe, because it kind of has that kind of look there, like you might be able to mine into it.
Kind of looks like that. So, yeah.
Yep, and there we go.
Photon dash, so it allows you to just sprint.
Yep, so no more using photon arts to dash around.
Yep, thank God. I like that a lot. And then we got the glide.
Yep. And one of the first...
Exactly flying. Like, gliding's not exactly flying, it's falling with style.
Yep. But I'll be curious... I'll be curious how open this world actually is. Like, can you just jump off a cliff and head into the ocean or something like that?
Maybe. It probably, like, you could jump from someplace and glide and you slowly descend down. So you might be able to just explore a bunch of different areas involving that.
Yep, or maybe head to a high spot and then start gliding down and just bypass a whole group of enemies if you don't want to fight them.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, it's a slow motion fall, basically.
Yep. And there's our favorite mascot, the Rappies.
Yes, they look adorable in this higher definition. Oh my.
Yep.
They look even more adorable. I love it.
Yep, and once again, one of those
little crystal flower thing there.
That's what I'm saying. That's one of the waymarks there. I was pointing out before.
Oh, and like in Blade and Soul, I've never played Blade and Soul.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on.
The character creation.
Yep.
Oh boy. So, the redesigned graphics engine provides higher fidelity character models. Now, you can make chubby Ash. I love it.
Yep.
Even more gorgeous characters.
And their fingers can move.
Their fingers can move! They can move!
What about their toes?
Advancement in technology ever. Now our characters' models, their fingers can finally move.
Yep. What about their toes?
It is so important that they had to point that out. The amount, like, I find that hilarious how only with PSO2 will they make a major deal about fingers being able to move.
Yep, it's definitely they've always done weird stuff like that, but in the end, it always makes their players happy. But once again, I'm asking, what about the toes? Because there are outfits out there that do actually show the player either walking around barefoot or walking around on sandals or something like that.
Maybe. I know it is absolutely groundbreaking.
Equip more accessories than ever before and change their placement. So
yeah,
I'm counting.
Six.
6
I'm
Rappy.
counting 6 here.
Yep.
Because each Rappy is its own accessory thing. And yeah, that's pretty impressive, honestly.
And here was the big thing everybody was wondering about.
Character creation and avatars are compatible with both games.
Yep.
Emotes and other registered data will be shared between them as well.
Yep, so
Which
that
is-
means your outfits, your innerwear, your base wear, your outerwear, your emotes, your hairstyles, all the stuff where you've like used a ticket to add it onto your character, that's going to be available to you.
And a lot of people, yeah, in this trailer it doesn't show them in their underwear. That is true. And actually, if you want to go to the Japanese one, it does show that. And I have to admit it looks like plastic. The characters look like plastic with their underwear on.
Yep, this one right here.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, they look like plastic.
It's like Barbie and Ken here.
Yep. Except Ken has a bulge.
Yeah. Gotta keep that teen rating, I guess.
Yep, I guess so. I don't know how long they can keep that up for.
Probably not for
Anyway,
too long.
But we got a completely revamped battle system as well with this new graphics engine,
Mm-hmm.
which we've shown, like we were seeing it in the trailer with some of these fights. Oh my, it looks so smooth.
Yep.
Yeah, and here we go. The dolls is what
Yep.
they're called.
And then we
And
got
so with the old characters. Really? Yeah, sharing between universes. So here we go. So it's going to be laying out all the stuff. So character growth does not carry over. So this is basically, you have your character on PSO2. It has all its stats and all its stuff there. And then on New Genesis, so you can swap between these two at any, I'm guessing you can just swap between these two at any point. It's the same character, it's the same outfits, same stuff. It's just new experience, I guess.
Yep. So to put it in another perspective, think about if you played Final Fantasy 14 and you've played the main story in that game, and then you went to Eureka, your level reset to level 1 in that area. It's kind of the same idea here, except this is essentially a brand new expansion of the story rather than it being a sort of a side content sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess it's like same concept as like PSO2S. But both of those characters are separate.
Yep, I would agree on that as well. PSO2S, yes.
So yeah, none of that stuff carries over, and if we can continue on, it'll show more stuff that are different with it. So, currency affecting the game's economy will not carry over, which is Meseta, Fun, and all those like badges and stuff. However, AC and SG is carried over as it's shown right there. And weapons, units, and mags obtained in PSO2 can be used in New Genesis as well. However, their functions, abilities, and appearances will temporarily change. So when it comes to weapons and units, they're being completely rebalanced, and you won't be able to equip some rare, like higher rarity weapons until you're at a higher level. Units, same thing. And then mags are useless. They are only there for cosmetic.
Yep. I look forward still to being able to pull out a Lightstream sword once I'm leveled up enough in this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Same here. And let's continue on here.
Yep.
Wait!
What about...
What
Yep.
will happen to the original PSO2? Play in both universes! So yeah, you can play both games at different times. So like I said, it's probably just whenever you log into the game, you can select whether you want to be on PSO2 or go on to New Genesis.
Yep. Since PSO2 is getting the same engine upgrade that is coming with New Genesis, that's why they're able to make this happen. Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing Phantasy Star Universe or Phantasy Star Online Blueburst come back online, but because the engines are going to be the same between both versions here, that's why they're able to make this happen.
Yeah, because they are updating the graphics engine for PSO2, like they're going to show here. So the PSO2 graphics engine will also be overhauled to match New Genesis. Now, it's going to be matched, but it's not going to be as high definition as New Genesis is.
2 playable universes, and that's all free to play. Some premium items are available.
Yep. So everything is available without paying at all.
So yeah, this isn't a paid expansion. This is just an expansion.
Yep. Yep. This is so incredible.
Mm.
And once again, coming in 2021.
I'm guessing it's going to be mid to late 2021. That's my guess. Purely because, yeah, it's going to be an increase to system requirements. So if you were playing this game on a potato, sorry to say this, but you're probably not going to be able to play this game come next year. Get a better computer.
Yep. The system requirements for the PC version will increase when PSO2 is updated to meet PSO2 NGS's standards.
Yep. So instead of playing on potato, play on a watermelon instead. And potatoes are full of starch. I like watermelons though. Watermelons are very good for you. And my mom will not stop getting watermelon and cantaloupe for every single goddamn meal. 1050 should be enough, and it's a GTX, not GTA.
Yeah, I've never heard of a GTA 1050.
Yeah,
maybe in like 2,000 years that'll come out.
It's a GTX 1050. That's actually what I used to have with my gaming laptop. I now have a 1070 SC, and it runs PSO2 no problem. It'll run New Genesis no problem as well, surely.
Yep. I'll be sitting pretty with an RTX 2080. Although I'm not going to be playing 4K. That's.
Oh, definitely not for me. Like my monitor doesn't even support 4K. It's 1080p.
1440 here, but yeah, I'd rather have the high refresh rate than 4K.
Same.
All right, so 2021 will mark PSO2's largest update ever. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of Phantasy Star Online, we will be aiming for even greater heights and reshaping the story, game system, graphics engine, and character creation system. PSO2 will be reborn as an open-field RPG, online RPG, with a renewed battle system and game system to match. You can continue to enjoy the original Phantasy Star Online 2 even after PSO2 NGS has been released. Accounts that have been playing PSO2 will be able to hop between PSO2 NGS and PSO2. However, because the game system is vastly different, we would like to explain exactly what exactly is changing. So we already covered a lot of that here in that video, but let's kind of scroll down here a bit, and we actually start to get more into the nitty gritty on this here.
Yes. So changes to the game system. This is the big. These are the big things here. So, items that are not compatible with PSO2 NGS. You want to talk about these?
Yep.
Or let's talk about these. So, skill rings.
Skill rings. That's a big one because that means Hunter is going to lose access to their Hunter focus and their Just Guard counter rings, and then all the other classes are going to lose access to those to different things as well. Granted. We're probably going to be getting a new structure as well for how those get implemented in the game, so I don't know if we're going to go with another skill tree next time or not. What do you think, Zance?
Maybe a complete new rebalance of the skill tree to add in what were the skill rings.
That could make sense, and I would say also not have minimums to unlock things. That would be nice.
That as well. Like, just completely rebuild it, and it becomes much more customizable to the way that you play.
Exactly. I know that at least with most classes, once we got to episode 5 or 6, they kind of did away with a lot of those minimum requirements, and it was you put 3 points or 5 points into that first one, and then it's a lot of stuff opens up for you then. Okay, so other things that can't be used. Consumable items used for battle growth and enhancement.
Basically,
items.
like the EXP items, tri-boost and stuff like that.
Yep. Technically even monomates, but I guess we'll have different versions of monomates over there.
Boost items! Yeah, that's the EXP things.
Yep.
And I know the boost items, that's the tri-boost and the EXP boost and all those. And materials, that's new materials that you'll be getting, and furnishings.
That's an interesting one, because this would be the first time that they don't have housing, and I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to create a new type of housing system with this game.
They might, and then make it to where it's a much more easier to place housing stuff.
Possibly. I mean, think of it this way. The last time we haven't had housing in the series was back in Phantasy Star Online Blueburst. Every game since Phantasy Star Universe has pretty much had it, aside from the side stories like Phantasy Star Nova. Although that had it in sort of a different way, in that you could kind of customize how your base was built up.
Even Portable 2 had housing.
Yep.
You had your own room. Mine was made of candy. That's a cast. It makes no sense, but I love it.
Sounds like there was a glitch with the programming.
Yep, exactly.
But regardless, all I can say is cast supremacy.
Yep. Casts were the best characters to play as in Universe because of obvious reasons.
Yep.
But anyway, coming back to this, so when it comes to player data and character growth, we already talked about that a bit. AC and SG can be used in both games, so any SG that you earn in PSO2 or in New Genesis, you can use in each one, and then AC, any AC you buy can be used in each one.
Yep.
Yeah,
sorry, chat, I'm fixing that now.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm guessing this is completely different economy then. Because Meseta, Fun, and other currencies greatly affect the balance of the game's economies and not be shared between these two. So they're going to have two completely different economies then.
I would say it's more the case. I would say it's more the case that you don't want to have, when you're starting a brand new game, to have people that just have billions of Meseta just drop right into the market. And the same kind of thing happened with Final Fantasy XIV as well, when they did their upgrade to A Realm Reborn. And yes, I'm aware of the meme that everybody's calling this Phantasy Star Online 2 A Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, the way that they handled it was any guild that you had in that game was decreased by down to 1/10 of what it was before, when the game transitioned from 1.0 to 2.0.
One of my raid members, Ayura, she actually did play during 1.0, and after it came back as A Realm Reborn, like, she was one of the only few that had a gatherer leveled, so she was able to make a lot of gil very early on.
Nice.
Because class levels did, because some of the class levels did also transfer over.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
She had a bunch of items that transferred over, so she was able to sell it right away and make a lot of gil.
Yep. And once again, your level, experience, class skills, photon arts, and techniques are going to not carry over as well. And that makes sense, because basically you're dealing with a 1,000-year gap here. So basically it's a brand new game, for lack of a better word, regardless of anything else here. So you don't want to have max level players just wrecking everything day one in the new game.
And also, when it comes to Meseta, it's still going to be called Meseta. It's been called Meseta since Phantasy Star on the Master System.
Yep. Yep. The only thing that
our game has used Meseta as the currency.
Pretty much the same for Monomates, except for Phantasy Star, the original, where it was hamburgers and cola.
Yeah, but that's only because of the localization.
Yep, I think it was called Perorimate in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Which is a spoof of Calorie Mate, which is an actual real-world product if you weren't aware.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, regarding weapons, units, and mags. Weapon units and mags obtained in Phantasy Star Online 2 can be used in Phantasy Star Online 2 NGS as well. However, their functions, abilities, and appearances will change in accordance with PSO2 NGS's game system. These changes will only occur when playing PSO2 NGS. They will retain their original functions, abilities, and appearances within PSO2. For weapons, while the... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Keep reading.
While the fundamental weapon design will not change, their stats, augments, and potentials will. Additionally, some higher rarity weapons may not be equipable until your character has reached a certain level. I'm expecting at the launch of the game, we're probably going to see a level cap of around 40 to 50. If I'm being honest.
Just like how PSO2 launched originally?
And Phantasy Star Universe.
Yeah, and Universe. Universe had a cap of 50 when it launched.
Yep. Yep, Bluebird, or rather, the original PSO was the only one that didn't have a level cap, and that's because the end game was sort of there from the start.
Yep. When it comes to PSO, it had the level cap of 100.
Yep, and then went to 200 in version 2.
Yep. And every other release of PSO had the 200 level cap.
Yep.
And then Universe. On the JP server, it got to 200. On the North American server, it got to 180.
Yep.
Also,
Never, say again?
Also, apparently, Calorie Mate's not that great. Oh.
I haven't tried it before. But yeah, Western PC, PS2 rather, also didn't get everything related to gas and GAM as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, continuing on here, for weapons pertaining to classes that have not yet been added to PSO2 NGS, they will be unusable until the relevant class has been removed. Do you think we're going to see any classes that don't come back?
Maybe?
I would say Summoner is probably going to be the best bet for that.
Probably, yeah. I don't think they're going to add Summoner to this.
And then the other one... The other one I would be surprised to see as well would probably be the Bouncer, if I'm being honest here.
Oh, really?
I don't think there's going to be much of an opportunity, especially because, as far as I'm aware, bouncers, or rather, no concept of bouncers even existed once you got to the time of the Algol games, if that's where we're actually headed.
Not my baby. Not my baby class, the Bouncer. Oh.
Let's see here.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Bouncer's my main class, so, yeah.
Braver still has a chance of showing up, I would think.
Tabo, what?
Tekker Bouncer. I would say Tekker has a chance of showing up.
Yeah.
Raja is actually, and Amy were both healer type classes in Phantasy Star 2 and 4, or rather, End of the Millennium. So, it's possible that Tekker may still be around.
Maybe.
In some way. Let's see here. Units will become armor that is not visible. Even units that have been obtained in PSO2 will become invisible in PSO2 NGS. So all cosmetics are now going to be through costumes rather than through units that you wear.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, similarly to weapons, their stats, augments, and potentials will change, and high rarity units may not be equipable until your character has reached a certain level.
So are they ditching the stat requirements and just doing level requirements for these? Like in, say, Phantasy Star Universe?
Or Phantasy Star Online 2S. It's possible they may handle it that way.
Or like in Phantasy Star Portable 2.
We'll have to see.
And speaking of Portable 2, yes, Braver was in Portable 2. It was called Vanguard.
Yep.
Primarily used the single hand weapons and had really high evasion. So at end games, like if you had a Vanguard at level 30 and you were level 200, yeah, pretty much any boss, nearly all the time, you saw zeros above your name. All the time.
Yep. Although typically you weren't 200 for long because PSO2, or rather Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity, then gave you the rebirth system.
Yep. And I'm still excited for that English patch to come out soon.
Yep.
Which that will definitely hold me over well until the new Genesis comes out.
Yep, that's definitely going to be something that's going to be this whole situation is going to be affecting my channel as well, because in the time between PSO2's story wrapping up and PSO2 NGS coming out, I will be focusing on other portions of the series again. I'll still be playing on the North American servers. It's not going to be every single week I'm doing that. We're going to be going elsewhere in the series. So just forewarning about all of that as well.
and I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be playing some Portable 2 with him.
Let's see, and then we have mags, although mags within PSO2 NGS do not affect your stats or aid you in battle. Evolution device data from PSO2 will carry over. So my question becomes, what function do mags have now then?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I saw in my Discord earlier that there was the idea that maybe they become crafting bots or something.
Maybe? Or they're just cosmetic stuff, I guess.
Maybe. If they do crafting, that would at least go back to Phantasy Star Universe and how the GH devices there worked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so NGS release information, available platforms in North America. It's going to be Windows 10 and Xbox One. Obviously, Xbox Series X is going to be added once that's available as well.
Well, actually, with PSU, mags weren't like the mags in PSU. Like there were the Techer mags and range mags, and then there was like the partner machines in your room.
Yep.
That
So
you use crafting.
you're right. So it was RCMS and TCMS, I think, for the things that you could equip, but they weren't actual mags. They were basically just robots that kind of auto attacked if they were the RCMS or let you hold.
But in Portable 2, they were called T-Mags and R-Mags.
Huh. I wonder if that was a glitch in the translation for the Phantasy Star universe then.
Actually, let me look here real quick. I'm glad I have the Portable 2 wiki saved.
While you're looking that up here,
they were called T-Mags and R-Mags. Or Tech-Mags and R-Mags.
Huh. Okay. Alright, so the price is free to play, some premium items available.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also an NGS announcement campaign to celebrate the announcement of Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. A PSO2 NGS announcement campaign will be held in PSO2. This campaign features some truly tantalizing items, so we invite all ARKS operatives who have taken a vacation from PSO2 to come back and have some fun while waiting for the release of PSO2 NGS.
Yes.
And they say click here.
Yeah, with PSO2, they are updating the graphics engine to be the same one for New Genesis.
Yep, that was the big news. If anything, I would not have expected that.
So yeah, you're gonna get the same graphics engine. It's just not gonna be as fidel as New Genesis, since that's gonna be built from scratch.
Yep. Yeah, so we probably still won't have moving fingers on PSO2.
Nope, no movable fingers. Such a shame.
All right. So we've already run through a lot of this here. I think this link, they just take us to the
5 million experience points.
Yep. So let's kind of go through this. In the long run, it really isn't that much experience, but it's a lot right now.
Oh, what you will get, so you have to log in at least one time between now and September 18th, and you'll get a 100 SG ticket, 5 150 tri-boost, 5 100 EX tri-boost, so you can use that on top of other tri-boost, the emote Overjoyed, and then log in between those days per day up to a maximum of 5 million experience points.
Yep. So you're getting 100,000 experience tickets, 5 of them a day,
Yep. So
and you're going to be able to log in 10 times and get up to 5 million that way.
Yep. So if you're starting a new character, there you go. That's an easy way to get them right up to 50.
Yep. And Doom Dragon, I was going to address that in just a moment once we got through this here. So there's also a second campaign going on here for players who have not logged in some time. A returning player who is a member of your alliance logs into PSO2 between 1 a.m. on 7/24 and the beginning of maintenance on 8/19. So they're going to get a Star Gem 100 ticket, plus 3 Tri-Boost 150%, plus 3 X Tri-Boost plus 100%. and the 130 operating terminal.
Mhm.
And then and then if you qualify as that returning player, then you basically get pretty much the same stuff here as well. Here, 100 Star Gem
The
ticket.
way that it's different is that the top one is for if a returning player in your alliance. So if anyone in your alliance hasn't logged in a while, which is before the end. So returning players defined as an account that has connected in the past but has not logged in between the end of maintenance on June 24th and July 23rd. So anyone that hasn't logged on since June 24th. So the top one is for your alliance. So if someone in your alliance logs on that hasn't logged on since then you'll get those things, and then the returning player gets those rewards as well.
Yep, and
So
then going.
I know someone who hasn't played this in a while. My friend Itachi. So I'm gonna tell him, hey, get on the game, so that we get all this good stuff.
That sounds like a plan here. Yep. They were in the alliance, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right, and then on the Japanese side of things, they got a different set of rewards here since they're further along. This information, once again, coming to us from bump.org. Between July 25th and August 19th, if you log into PSO2 during the campaign, you get a bonus key Tokyo Rainbow, three bonus key Tokyo Golds. Say again?
Gold. So yeah, it is 1 rainbow and 3 golds, and then it's the same boosters, but they get the emote air guitar, which we already have because of the battle pass thing. Mission pack. That's it.
And then they're getting million ticket experiences, or
Up
million
to
experience
at
tickets.
max. So they're getting 10 million instead of us getting 5 million, but they're further along, and 10 million is barely anything in JP.
Yep, Rubber, in the North American version, eventually they're going to release bonus quests, which are going to be using those kind of keys.
Yeah, it's going to be silver keys, gold keys, and rainbow keys. Basically, these are bonus quests that have enemies that are extremely easy to kill and gives you a lot of experience points.
Yep. And then same thing for the returning players, although they get a bonus key Tokyo Rainbow,
Yep.
and only a single try boost and X try boost here.
But they get the operating terminal.
Yep. And then there's nothing for the team, so that's kind of interesting. So, but that's basically everything that's happening. We are really excited for the future of this new game, Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And any other thoughts that you got here, Zance?
Besides the movable fingers, which I will never get off of. I don't think anyone will get off of that. I'm excited for this. This is the update that PSO2 needed long ago. If it wasn't being held back by the Vita, oh boy, this would have happened maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. But then again, we wouldn't have had the NA launch then. So.
Yep. Oh, and Doom Dragon, I do see that now. Yeah, it is for the team as well as the returning player.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, eventually will happen because I believe they were introduced in episode 4, right?
Correct. A lot of this stuff is episode 4 based. That's going to be coming real soon. So
Yeah,
bonus
bonus
quests,
quest,
the 4th featured quest.
Yeah, the EXP.
Yep. Shared ship for battle and challenge mode. Speaking of which, battle mode as well.
Mm-hmm. Also, if they're going to bring the EXP quest, are they also going to bring the yearly badges?
One can only hope. And here's the thing. Those badges we got just now, the glory badges, I wonder if that's what they're called.
I think those are just for the Independence Day.
Okay, so you're thinking it's going to be the other badge type then that we're going to get with the featured quest.
Yeah, basically like the 2020 badges.
Yep. I mean, the thing did say 2020 on it, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we'll get those badges, which would then also give us that shop, and in those shops on the JP server are solo triggers. I want those solo triggers.
Yep,
Because
I
Profound
completely agree.
Darkness solo is it feels so good being able to do it.
Yep. As for my final thoughts for now on Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, obviously there's still a lot of new information that's coming out. The next wave of information should be coming out on August 7th, I believe, which is when the next live show on the Japanese side is going to be happening. So we should learn a lot more about the game then. And then as information comes out, we're going to keep you informed. But as things also wind down for PSO2, there may be a gap in terms of there being information coming out. We're still focused not just only on the official releases, but also the community releases as well. So as information comes out about, for example, Phantasy Star Universe Clementine, whenever that finally comes back online, whenever the Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity patch comes out, we'll keep you informed. But regardless of all that, there is the chance that in the future there could be a sort of a dry well when it comes to new information. And if and when that happens, we will try to plan for it, but just be aware there could be a point where we may go on hiatus until such time that we actually get new information coming out.
Yep.
But we don't see that happening for some time yet still, because the North American version is still trying to catch up to the Japanese version.
Yep, so there's going to be a lot of new info when it comes to the NA server.
Yep.
So we're
that news...
never going to go on hiatus. This is going to go on forever and ever and ever until PSO2 eventually closes.
Yeah, if we get to that point, we're probably looking at least, I would say, 6 to 9 months away from that. I'm just letting everybody know ahead of time here that there's the chance it could.
We still have that Gunblade successor class.
I'm really curious why they're doing that now, because
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. What is the purpose of that if the game is ending?
I don't know. Just to give some class for people to level in and gear stuffing? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, my question is, are they going to be continuing to put any further effort into PSO2? Like, are there going to be, like, new seasonal quests where the maps change? Or is there going to be any further collaborations? Or it doesn't really make sense to have brought that out at this point here. And yeah, Rubber Ducky, that's kind of what I'm thinking, that it might be in maintenance mode at this point here.
Yep. I know with when it comes to like Guild Wars 1 is still up. You can still play Guild Wars 1 the way it originally released with all the expansions, but there is no new updates to it. It is purely maintenance mode. That's it. But with Guild Wars 2, they're updating that more and more. So it's probably going to be like that. Oh yeah, they're still 100.
Yeah, they could bring it up to that, or I don't know, go crazy and make it 200.
Just like PSO and PSU.
Yep. Because here's a little bit of background information that people don't know about. PSO2 can actually handle up to 8 difficulty modes. So we're only at 6.
Oh, wow.
So even though it might be in maintenance mode, we might still get like further difficulty increases potentially.
Yeah. And it's also the same thing with Final Fantasy XI. They're adding new stuff to it and getting people to keep playing it, but it kind of is maintenance mode. But they did say that they're going to be adding more story stuff, but I don't know. Like
didn't they say like years ago there was a mobile version coming?
Yeah, we don't even know when that's going to be coming out. There's barely any info on that mobile version of Final Fantasy XI.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be that. It's going to be maintenance mode. It'll be there. People can still play it and gear up and get all this cool stuff on it. But New Genesis is going to be their main focus from here on, more than likely.
Yep. Totally agree about that one. But until New Genesis comes out, we still got new information coming out for the current version in the West, as well as on the Japanese side. In fact, the Japanese side still hasn't even finished up the story yet, so we still got that information coming later in the show. But for the moment, let's bring back up the website here. Let's talk about what's new this week here in the Western version here.
We are talking about New Genesis for well over an hour. Jesus.
Yep. I said it at the top of the show, strap in, it was going to be a long one.
Yep.
All right,
So
so
we-
new in-game campaigns. We got PSO2 Day Premium, which is already passed at this point here. Next regular PSO2 day is coming next Sunday. Daily login rewards, clear ultimate quests, quest trigger distribution for Defense Operation Ending, which is the one against Apprentice.
Yep.
And then, of course, we got the new urgent quest, Mining-Based Defense Operations Ending. And then new releases for AC Scratch Fun and the Fresh Find Shop. Recommended
Yep,
items.
and the AC Scratch is another collab Scratch.
Yep.
It's Shining Heroes.
Yep. It's such a shame they couldn't put any of the more classic Shining characters in there, like the Birdlings and things like that. And there was an issue with the Fresh Find Shop where some of the items were available for trading. This issue has now been resolved. However, items that have been traded or listed as tradable will remain as such. The Fresh Find Shop will be available after today's maintenance. I don't know. I get why they're doing it, but it's still disappointing that they put that lock in there in the first place.
Yeah. It makes me not want to buy any of the accessories off of them.
Yep.
Like, the only thing I get off of the Fresh Find Shop is emotes.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the bald or skinhead look to come out there, or through an AC Scratch. But yeah, most of my star gems at this point are going towards the material storage, and then also towards the getting. Say again?
And the extended storage.
Yep. As well as that new star gem scratch that was added last week. I don't know why bald is not a default one. I wish it was.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense that it's not default.
Yep. But okay, let's move on here. So here we have the urgent quest and concert schedule here. So Kuna will grace fans with a few concerts here, but the main story is down here. The main story being the yellow square here for the mining-based defense operation ending. That is the new one that was introduced this week, and there are quite a number of them.
When they're doing urgents.
Say again?
There's a lot more times when they're doing urgents.
I completely agree. So, not many...
And they only did one virtual battle training because the Independence Day lobby ended on the 22nd.
Yep. Yep, so
now
that is...
Basic lobby again.
Yep, that is done and gone with, although if you have the trigger, you can still bring that up if you wanted to.
Yeah, and you get glory badges that will be not usable until next year.
Yep.
Which even then, probably by next year, we'll be playing New Genesis.
Yep. Of course, we also still have Profound Darkness and Magatsu as regular occurrences as well, partly because people need to do multiple kills to clear the titles that are necessary for those. So, for Magatsu... Go ahead.
And also X cubes.
Yep. For Magatsu to get all the titles, you need 100 kills. For Profound Darkness, you need 30. And then for the current mining-based defense operation, you need 30 kills on Apprentice to get your titles.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Magatsu and Profound Darkness, you can get those kills through the story quests as well.
That is true. Yes.
So
but
if you don't have those urgent quests coming up, or you can't make them, then you can get those titles from just doing the story quest.
Keep in mind, though, if you do need the Apprentice ones, those two quests are highly difficult, and if you're doing them on hardcore mode, if you don't have the right gear for it, you're probably better off taking those on in normal mode.
Yep. And they still count for the title. So.
Yep.
So if you're just doing it for the title, do it on normal because they become piss easy.
Yep. So after that, next week, we've got pretty much the same here, except Kuna is going to do a few more concerts, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's also the mining-based defense operation Despair, which is being run a lot here. Those are the black ones here, and that's being run because there is still that campaign where if you get 15 clears on that with an S rank, you do get that emote that comes with that campaign.
And I only see a few of them being done in the morning, and then most of them are in the evening.
Yep.
A few in the afternoon.
Alright, and along with the new release of the Urgent Quest, we also have a quest trigger distribution that happened as well. And this is something I like about the North American version. You get a free a trigger with pretty much any Urgent Quest that comes out now. You didn't have that on the Japanese side.
Yeah,
So
I greatly appreciate that. Because there are some times where I can't make the Urgent Quest schedules because I'm busy with other games or busy with real life stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll go into a populated block, pop trigger, just shout out, hey, I popped the trigger, let's go.
Yep. My question is, where are the trigger chains? Because that's something I would like to get into.
Where people do multiple triggers all at once.
Yep. So basically, and then, you know, if an Urgent Quest happens to pop up, they all jump into that Urgent Quest and then start the train back up again.
Yeah, I would like that as well.
But aside... Go ahead.
I'm happy like that. I was in one that was like that. It would do multiple times over and over again, but it's been a while since I've seen that, and plus I don't play as much as I've been doing before. Definitely want to get back into this now with the New Genesis. I want to get all my characters ready for that.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so the trigger is being handed out between July 22nd and August 21st. So just make sure you log in and grab it from the Visiphone before that maintenance happens on 8/21. Actually, no, it doesn't say that there's a maintenance there. But anyway, just grab it before it goes away. And as for the description of the mission here, a strong fall spawn signal with an originating or an orientation suggesting that it originates from Lilliput has been received by ARKS HQ. Early theories suggest it could be Apprentice the Vernal attempting to bolster the full spawn forces assaulting the mining base. Caution will be necessary during the approach, and ARKS HQ has deemed this a good opportunity to employ an underground exploration craft to approach the target with stealth. So, interesting that they're basically calling this whole platform here an underground exploration craft. That sounds more like something that had to be pre-built with how far down you're going.
And this mind...
say again, you broke up there.
It's my favorite one. I love this one so much.
Gotcha. Alright, so... out of the distribution and into the other campaigns we've got here. So we have a campaign to clear Ultimate Quests. So, if you're wondering what Anga Fondage is and why many ARKs have spoken of it, then this will be a great way for you to become well acquainted. From July 22nd to July 29th, ARKS HQ wants operatives to investigate the corrupted region of Navarius Forest by signing up for the Ultimate Quest Corruption Investigation Navarius. In exchange for taking this perilous undertaking, ARKS HQ will be sprinkling some Star Gem 20 tickets among those who complete the investigation multiple times. And then we come down here. We can see that the rare drop rate for this has been boosted, so they've qualified this region as having a rare drop rate plus 100% in effect during this time. And then potential items that may drop include the Gix series, as well as the Sakure series for units.
And not only that, there's also the Slave and Nemesis weapons, depending on which Ultimate Quest you do.
Correct. Although I think they're only doing Corruption Investigation Navarius.
Okay.
Unless.
So Navarius, that's the one that has the Nemesis weapons, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right about it.
Yeah, Gix weapons aren't that good. It's the Nemesis and Slave weapons that are much better.
Yep, especially because you'll eventually be able to combine those with other weapons to get the austere weapon in the future.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so completing 3 runs through the Ultimate Nefarious will give you a 20-star gem ticket, and then doing it 5 times will give you another 20-star gem ticket.
Which it's pretty easy to go through most of them solo.
Yep, and technically this doesn't say anything about S ranks here, so you can pretty much just head straight for the second area and take on the deal that's over there.
Yeah, most of the time when people do ultimates, they're in there for like an hour or 2 while they try to farm for these weapons.
Yeah, you don't have to do the farming. You can pretty much just bypass that and go straight to the exit.
If you're just doing it for the 5 clears.
Yep.
Which I'm going to nip to that and then go back into it to actually farm.
Yep. Yeah, because of the rare drop route. Alright, next campaign we got here, Daily Login Rewards. So, basically you log in, you get free stuff. So, between the 22nd and the 20... Go ahead.
You get EXP tickets! Which is
on top of the other ones.
Yep, on top of the other ones.
Alright, so from the 22nd to the 29th login each day, you get a 100,000 experience ticket. And then if you log in at least 5 separate days, then you get 3 more 100,000 tickets.
So yeah, you get a lot of EXP. You get a lot of EXP. It's perfect time to level up your alts.
Yep. A grand total of 1 million.
Mm-hmm. So you get 1 million from there, and then you also get 5 million from the other campaign. There you go. That's really easy EXP.
Yep. Although, if I'm being honest here, just hang on to these tickets until the new classes come out. They start from level 1.
Yeah, so it becomes a lot easier if you want to just do that.
Alright, so out of the campaign, let's move on to the scratches here. So, we have the new Shining Heroes scratch here. Let's go ahead and check this one out.
Now, this scratch is pretty long compared to the other videos that they've had.
Yeah, I think this one goes for, what, 5 minutes in total?
Mm-hmm. I definitely plan on playing Hero. It's what I mainly played on JP. Mostly because I started playing when Episode 5 was the new content, and everyone was playing Hero.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't even know who these characters are. I never played this portion of the Shining series. My experience is
series.
Say it.
I've never played the Shining series.
Gotcha. If you ever get a chance, you might want to check it out, at least on the SEGA Genesis. But yeah, we got different costumes here, but these are all going to be essentially humanoid. Aside from some cast ones, I think that's not one of them, but I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 cast ones in this set. But the one that I was hoping for was going to include the stuff that happened when the border-breaking Night Gear came over in that collaboration effort, because that included what was called the Birdling set, which was basically the Eeyore male and Eeyore helmet, and then it also gave you wings, and basically you looked like a bipedal bird.
Also, this upcoming UQ is not Dark Falls, it's the Mining Defense.
Yep.
So yes, I would leave your vac for that.
Yeah, usually you want to run urgent quests when they come up. That's usually the best way to gain experience in items as rare drops.
A lot of replicas in this. My god.
Yep. And then you got the Panis replica. What? I don't get who these characters are. I mean,
yeah,
Rage at least. Rage, they've got like these I don't know. They seem like wings on their back, but they aren't. This is one of the weaker AC scratches, especially because there's like 150 or so items in this thing.
Yeah, it's a bit too much.
It really isn't even helping the market that much either. I'm just not seeing many costumes. It's like there are so many costumes in this that it's keeping the price of costumes up amazingly.
Mm-hmm. Now there are some emotes as well, so.
Yep.
But some of these emotes are repeats, it looks like. I know at least Dance 9 is.
Ash, pretty much any urgent quest is going to be good for rare drops.
Mm-hmm. And again, this one isn't Dark. This one coming up is not Dark Falls. It's Mining Defense 4, which is Apprentice.
So it technically is a Dark Falls. Apprentice is one of the 4 Dark Fallses.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like a cast outfit to me.
Mm-hmm.
And here we get into the weapon camos here.
There's a lot of them.
Yep.
And I think my favorite one out of these, it will show here, the twin gun blades. It looks cool.
That divine cannon is weird looking, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Harmonium is...
Price.
That has a keyboard on it, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. And right there, the twin gun blades. Oh, it looks so cool.
The length on them definitely makes it look cool, yeah.
And the thing is with those gun blades, it applies to 3 different weapons, if I saw correctly. Let me see here. So it applies to twin machine guns, twin daggers, and the dual saber, or soaring blades.
Gotcha.
Yep. So I can use them on my bouncer. Yay! The costumes are from Resonance Refrain. Okay. And Ted the Leo. Yeah, there's a lot of weapon camos. Like, there's so many outfits in this. It's ridiculous.
Just going down the list. This is crazy here.
It's too much. It honestly is too much. And same thing when it comes to the weapon camos. Because of that, like, the prices of all these are way too high because there's too much. So people aren't getting enough of these. Like,
exactly.
Enough to be able to keep those prices down. Yeah, I know. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, you do get some new hairstyles out of it. You do get some new eye types. You get a refresh on the black and white wings from earlier.
But yeah, they really should have toned that down with helmet.
Yeah.
There is here.
And then finally we get to the regular consumables here. So Dark, Ice, and Lightning as your elemental transitions this time.
Posters and mats.
Yep, just...
And then when it comes to emotes, Dance 9 is a repeat. I know that Dance 9 is a repeat because I have Dance 9.
And then you've also got Peak, Backflip, and Dispirited. And then the other thing is they are doing bonus rewards with this. Shining Hearts music set at 3 draws, and then Shining Arc music set at 15 draws. So if you wanted to hear the music in the game, there you go.
Yep. I've never played any Shining. I've never played any Shining games, so. Well, yeah, no duh. Of course they want you to spend money.
Definitely. But let's move out of the range of spending money here, and let's move on to something a little bit more fun.
Fun! I love
All right.
fun!
Yep. So
Oh, yeah, fun.
I think we got some repeats in this one here too, because I'm pretty sure we had the lion breastplate before.
Oh, yeah, we did. Well, again, it's mostly to get PC players to get the stuff that they missed out on.
Yep.
But some of this stuff is new, it's like, especially that cyber mask.
Yep, definitely. And thank you, Hawkeye.
We try.
Dish antenna on the top there. Shoulder cases.
Yeah, these are repeats from last time. So
Yep.
So usually what they do with the Fun Scratch is that they have some new ones, but they also have some of the stuff from the old ones. So
Yep.
that's what they do each time with these.
And then you got Kudos and Play Ball for your remotes, and then you got a bunch of like different furnishings here. Looks like we got the fancy set again here.
Yep.
And then you got the mothership interior music, which I put on for a little while, I think. And then the casino lounge, the Rappy Slots, Beset and Shooter, Scenery Pass, Floating Continent. I actually put that onto my room.
Okay.
Because I don't think we're going to get the Yamato collaboration, so...
Probably not. For me, I have Living Universe playing in my room.
Gotcha.
Once something's no longer available, you definitely can't get them. Some of them, yes, but they do repeats, and sometimes they do revival scratches as well, just to bring those items back into the market. Like Dance 9, that was on a previous scratch, and they brought Dance 9 back for this current scratch.
Yep. You're probably going to see the dragons that show up again.
All the outfits that are in there.
But yeah, this will be around until July 28th, at which point we'll get another fun scratch here.
Yep. And if you have a bunch of X cubes, which you probably do, you can just get the fun points from X cubes and then easily get all the stuff from the fun scratch.
Yep. Alright, let's move on now to the Fresh Find Shop here. And in terms of the set that you got here, you got your active camisole here for females, along with an active Cap A, ARKS logo on the top there.
Looks very urban.
Urban, and if I might say, a little Evangelion-esque.
A bit. I get more of the urban vibe out of it.
Well, I was saying the lettering that they were using there.
Ah, okay. And great.
Let's see. Who would want a double cowlick hairstyle?
I don't know. Maybe someone?
Looks like you've also got the Agile coat, as well as an Agile tattoo. And then, of course, you got the new Defense Operation Ending trigger as part of the Fresh Find Shop as well.
$150 base price for the Star Gems.
Yep. And Doom Dragon, yeah, I think that is a new hat.
What's
Alright,
so different about this Barbie? Well, it's got a new hat.
Yep.
I'm making it some reference if you don't get that.
No, unfortunately, I didn't.
Ah,
Wait. Maybe I didn't hear before. What show was it?
The Simpsons.
What season?
I don't remember which season. I just know about that joke. It's
Is
it's an older season if I remember correctly.
And what was the joke again? Maybe I just didn't hear it right.
It basically like it was like Lisa complaining about the Barbies or something, and then it's like trying to say what's new about this one. Well, it's got
With
a new
Malibu
hat.
Stacy. I remember.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, and then she creates her own Lisa Loveheart, I think?
I think so. I don't remember the episode. I just know about that joke.
Gotcha. Alright, so this day has already passed, but on the 22nd it was the PSO2 Premium Day, so you got yourself 22 Star Gems, times 2 if you were Premium, as well as some active boosts on Fun, Experience, Login Stamp, Rare Item Drop rates, and Gathering Fever Occurrence rates. And if I remember correctly, this was also extended by an extra 12 hours.
Yes, it was.
Once again, the next... go ahead.
Reason why? I don't remember the reason why it was extended.
I think it was because this maintenance took longer than usual.
That's why.
Once again, the next regular PSO2 day is coming on August 2nd, and that is going to be a Sunday.
Yep. Perfect day for grinding.
Yep. And we've actually got something that's going to be leaving the game pretty soon here. This is your last chance to grab the Ragol Fashion Pack.
Mm-hmm. So this is the way that you get those Ragol memories, which will allow you to get the PSO stuff. Now, I've already gotten some of, I still have some of the memories in my storage, but I already got the things that I wanted from it. I got the red ring, I got the music, and that's it.
Yep, and I got my HuCast set that I wanted from it, and yeah, the funny thing is that it's the Ragol Fashion Pack that's leaving, but not the Founders Pack that's leaving.
Yeah, no, it is just the Fashion Pack. Wait, no, Ragol Edition. Yeah, no, it is also the Founders Pack as well.
Wait,
see, it's
where's
Fashion Pack and PSO2 Ragol Edition. You see that?
Right,
there?
but not the big Founders Pack where it gave you like 12 AC tickets, premium mission pass, and the Sonic set.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's still staying. Which that does have 5 Ragol memories in it.
Exactly. So if you only need 5 of them, go for that thing instead. It's a lot better of a deal.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's basically it's the price of a new game, $60.
Yep. And by now, if you've enjoyed the game, you know if you're sticking with it or not.
Yep. I've been sticking with this game since the open beta, or not the open beta, the closed beta.
And for me, I'm
to that closed beta, or not exactly 29 hours because my stream lasted for 29 hours because most of the time, like the first 4 hours, if you remember that, first 4 hours was nothing. You couldn't get in the game.
I managed to get in, but for like 5 minutes. I got past the first mission, and then as soon as I got spit out to the lobby, then things went downhill.
Yeah, I couldn't get in at all.
But okay, let's move on to the last update we have here. We have some casino boosts coming here.
Yay, casino!
So, all day tomorrow, we're gonna have Sunday, rather. I thought it's Saturday for a moment there. Sunday, we got 2-hour boosts for pretty much everything here. So, starting off with Arkema slots, then you got the Macetin shooter, moving on to Little Roulette, then the Rappy slots, and then Black Niak, back to Arkema, and Macetin, and Little Roulette.
Yeah, the closed beta test. Yeah, I know about that. It was closed beta test. All you had to do was sign up for it. That was it.
Yep, pretty much. And then after this week, then next week you're gonna have a looks like 3-hour blocks for one of each, except for Rappy slots will be which will be twice here.
Now, if only that they had the Star Gems in the limited shop for casino.
It may still be coming. It's possible that episode 4 just needs to be activated for it to show up.
Probably. Same
Hopefully.
thing with yearly badges.
Yep. And the Challenge Mile shop, Star Gems.
Yep, those Star Gems as well.
Who knows if we're ever going to get the Idola Star Gems.
Probably not. Because we're probably never going to get Idola.
Which is a real shame. I mean, at 1 million downloads at this point, it should have at least shown SEGA that they need to pay attention to the West, and if anything, it might be a good idea to release PSO2S and Idola in the West now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, PSO2? Yeah, PSO2 is a pretty big game.
Yep. And imagine how big it's going to get when the new game comes out. Granted,
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have, like, all content available from the start, so we're probably going to be looking at maybe, like, 30 to 40 gigabytes at the start, and then it'll grow to, like, 200 plus by the end.
Probably. Because developers, for some reason, no longer know how to do compress their stuff.
Yeah.
Like, look at games on the Switch. Most of the time, like, the largest I've seen is 20 gigabytes.
Well,
And that's
at least...
for Doom. Like, and actually, not even for Doom. For Doom, it's even less. And it still looks great.
Well, at least in the case of the music, you really can't compress it that much, because it uses the HCA standard, and that's the only way that the Sympathy music system works correctly.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
But I do know that the game is also compressed in other ways through, like, the ICE format and things like that.
Yeah, COD Warzone is, like, stupid big.
I had heard about that, but I don't play any games like that. I don't play.
Neither do I.
The only first-person shooter I really have ever played was Halo, and I played that up to, like, Halo 3.
Do you have the Master Chief Collection?
I do until my Ultimate Pass runs out, which is going away after this month.
Okay. I would recommend getting it on Steam. I actually bought MCC on Steam. I love it.
Gotcha. Alright.
Which, by the way, guys, Halo, it's fun. Like, this is coming from a guy who's not that big into FPSs, and I'm saying that Halo is really good. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yep. Speaking of, where's our Halo collaboration already? I want a Sangeli costume.
Same. I just want my Cortana outfit.
Alright, so that's pretty much all the Go ahead.
Or be dressed as one of the Covenant. I don't know.
Yep. That's what the Sangeli are, the elites.
Yeah. Be dressed as the Flood. Perfect.
A Rappy Flood.
Yes, Rappy Flood. Oh.
How did I just create that meme?
Dressed up as the Flood. Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
If you want to take that, go ahead. Just make sure you post it to Reddit so I can see it.
Anyway,
so
moving on.
Yeah. So that's the end of the North American updates. We do have an update that happened this week on the Japanese side as well. We've got the second part of the 8th anniversary with the new limited quest Battleship Infiltration Enhancer, which is a 12-player quest. Waiting at the end of it is the Grav Executor, the boss from Divide Quest. And
yeah, we didn't say that because it's the most obvious.
Say again? Sorry?
I'm just reading one of the replies, or one of the comments there, so... Or chat. Ugh. So, we didn't say Master Chief Suit because it's the most obvious.
Yep.
Like, we want to say, oh, this other random character, or this other random character.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, Rooks. I think there would probably be some level of immunization there.
Probably.
Worst case, just dump them into cast shells.
Yep, that works.
Okay, there's also a trigger version available for up to 4 players where you'll face Gildina Executor, which is the gold version, I believe. And then you've also got new item drops, S-Class ability capsule S6 Wondrous Encore, which activates upon using Showtime, so this is a gunner ability. This effect reduces the amount of hate incurred, and only once per activation, reduces damage received and maintains one more time.
Oh, interesting.
And then the 8th anniversary rewards have been updated as well, including the exchange shop, which gives you access to a bunch of S2 abilities here, along with an S3 and some emotes, some that you've seen before, and then some brand new ones. There seems to be a theme of food with this, amazingly.
Oh, food.
And then we also have Dark Falls Persona Ultra Hard released, and the fight has changed significantly from how it was before, in that basically after you break his exploding bubbles, he comes crashing down, and then he'll do his thing to release his energy, killing anybody that's nearby. And then what he does is he reaches out into the arena and basically breaks open the space, or rather tries to gather energy from the space that the arcs came from, and that transforms into the form of a sword. And so he uses that. He uses that to the end of the fight here. Where did this go? Here it is. So yeah, that basically becomes the final phase of the fight.
So instead of his other, like his final mask that he puts on.
Well, he puts on his final mask, but basically, unlike the Trigger version, the original Trigger version, where he would just randomly swipe with his claws, he grabs a sword instead in this ultra hard version.
So it's a lot cooler because it has a sword.
It's cooler, and it's suspected that the reason he reaches out like that may be related to the final boss of the game, the Primordial Darkness. But we'll have to see how that actually turns out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you run the Trigger version of this, the boss will be set to level 100.
Oh boy.
And if you play on Ultra Hard difficulty, you have the chance of receiving the new 13-star Shion units and an S-Class ability capsule S5 area support.
Question, will those units give you ice cream?
Ice cream?
Yeah, it's Shion. Who else will I have ice cream with?
I think the reference is in more to Shion the from the game.
I know. Kingdom Hearts reference.
Why do you keep making that reference?
Because it's such a terrible line. I like making fun of it.
Well, I do know that Shion kind of makes one final appearance and everything, but it's you'll see it when the game comes when the game finally finishes in the story.
Yep.
Alright, there's also a trade expansion going on. You can now put, with some exclusions, 12-star units up for sale in the shop.
Awesome.
And then the team shop has been updated as well. Aside from adding the 150% try booster, they've increased the amount of triggers you can purchase from the team shop. So that was kind of a problem that was happening for a while, whereby even if you purchased everything every week, there were basically too many team points to go around to purchase to use, essentially.
Especially
and then
since,
you also got... Go ahead.
Especially since on JP you can get 45,000 team points per character in your alliance, compared to NA right now, where it's only 4,500.
I think it's actually 50,000.
Or 50,000. And they also have their own AC scratch going on, the Ritual Marriage, which we had the marriage thing last, pretty previous here.
Yep. So the Divine Queen of Epiquet. So Margareta, you'll be seeing her in episode 5 story. And then for your bow users, you've also got the bullet bow pose available to you now as well.
That's pretty cool. I like these poses. They're pretty cool. 'Cause they're also the only time that you can have a weapon sheathed out.
Yep. And then arriving next week, you've got the Oracle Summer Collection, so we will be taking a look at that when that information comes out.
And I wonder if NA is going to get a summer thing.
We'll see. I'll be curious to see if any Speedos are going to be going out for men.
Yeah, if you want that 50k team points in a week for one person, casino. You just spam Rappy slots.
Yep. Of course, women have already had some swimsuits on the North American side, thanks to the prior collaborations that have happened. But the one thing I'll be curious also to see is if the Japanese comedy team set that happened with the Summer Beach Wars event, if they're going to be making an appearance on the North American side or not.
I don't know. You're trying to turn me into an addict. Good. Go into it. Accept it. Accept your fate against Niao and his cheating ass.
Well, you can usually trip him up if you got more than one person in there.
Well, even then, like, I saw a picture on the subreddit. Like 3 people got Blackneck, and then Niao gives himself a Blackneck. So yeah, Niao cheats.
Well, we kind of know that whenever he puts up his question mark or his exclamation point, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Niao to draw.
But that pretty much...
Yeah. He cheats.
Yep. I give him usually 3, and then I move over to another counter if it's not working. But that takes us pretty much to the end of all the updates for this episode here. Any final thoughts here, Zance?
I am still hyped for New Genesis. And I will definitely be playing this more so, just so I can get all my characters ready for this. Because this is exciting.
I totally agree. This is some of the biggest news we've had in quite some time. The fact that they're keeping PSO2 alive is also big news. Because we know what happened with Phantasy Star Universe and Phantasy Star Online Blueverse. When PSO2 became big, those servers were eventually shut down. I want to say it was like 3 to 6 months into the life of PSO2 on the Japanese side.
It didn't take long for Blueverse and Universe to go down.
Yep.
Because even when PSO2 came out, those two were put into maintenance mode. Yeah, it didn't last long.
Yep. I agree. But the community we have has brought them back over time. And from what I understand, we're looking at fairly soon for Phantasy Star Universe Clementine coming back, actually.
Yes, and I am excited for that. I want Clementine to come back, and I want them to take their time when it comes to making all the content.
Definitely. So, to SEGA, I would say best of luck with the creation of this new game. We're rooting for you. And anything else you want to add to that, Zance?
Don't screw up. Don't, make sure that all updates are both JP and NA at the same time, and we'll be good.
Yeah, if you can make them not regional and just make them world servers, that'd be best.
Don't pull a universe.
Alright, so with that brings us to the end of the episode. On behalf of Zance and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.